couple months ago, on May 11th, 2022, I got LASIK and something went wrong. For those of you who don't know, LASIK is a procedure to improve your eyesight. What they do is they cut a flap on the surface of your eye in order to flip it up, expose your cornea, and then they use a laser to reshape it so that the light falls on your retina. So usually the reason someone has bad eyesight is because their vision focuses in front of their retina or behind the retina. I had around a negative 4.5 prescription in each eye. This is about a 20/400 vision. So what that means is if there was an object 20 feet away from someone who can see 20/20, I would see that object as if it were 400 feet away from that person. So what went wrong with my procedure? You'll see in just a minute. There are two main parts of the procedure, one where they cut the flap and one where they reshape the cornea, and something went wrong in both parts. Start off with me walking into the room, where they guided me to the first of two machines in that room. I'll call this one the flap cutter. To cut the flap, they put a small suction device right onto the surface of your eye. Usually they put the device in your eye, suction's on, the laser will cut the flap, and you're done. But for me, they had to do the suction on my right eye a total of 3 times. It failed 2 times. The suction just didn't work. And this isn't a light suction. It's very hard. When they're putting this suction on, you can't see anything. Your vision goes black. So then they moved on to my left eye. That one worked the first time. Or so we thought. So they then had me stand up with my flaps cut and walk over to the second machine. I laid down, I looked up at a light, and then we began the second part of the procedure. They lifted up the flap on my right eye, and one of the assistants was counting down for how much time I had to look at the light without moving at all, otherwise my vision would be permanently ruined forever. Anyways, I looked up at the light and waited until they were done. Then they start on my left eye, and instead of telling you what happened, I'm going to show you a little video. This is footage that my mom shot while she was waiting outside and I was getting the procedure done. And you can see how they're trying to scrape at my eyeball with that tool. This video goes on for over 3 minutes, and by the end of this video, they're still not even done. They had to eventually grab a scalpel and cut part of my left eye. Once I was done, my mom took me home and I rested for the entire day. The next day, I took a picture of my right eye because I was curious of what it looked like, and this is it. And a few weeks later, I think about 3 weeks later, I took this picture. You can see it got a lot better, and then the day after that, it was pretty much completely healed. So I got bruising from the excessive suction on my right eye. I had to wait several minutes for the doctor to flip the flap on my left eye when it's only supposed to take 30 seconds. And I had dry eyes for over a month after my procedure. Even so, with all of these bad things happening, I would get LASIK again. Now my vision is better than 20/20 in both eyes, and previously, like I said, it was 20/400. It's just so crazy how far technology has come, how we can do this. So some of you might be worried about getting LASIK, you're kind of on the edge. If you're worried about pain, there's 0 pain during the procedure. They put in numbing eye drops. I didn't feel any pain. You do feel some pressure, but it's not painful pressure like some doctors will say. If you're worried about dry eyes, they usually go away in a month to 2 months. They do give you some eye drops to use. Make sure you use those if you do get LASIK. And the last thing, if you're worried about complications, it's likely that what you go through will be a lot smoother, a lot easier than what I went through. So if those are the only things that are holding you back, then there's nothing you have to lose, except maybe a few $1,000s.